Yay! Hello, 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 everyone. It's Tarot Tuesday, Tarot Reviews Day, and I am back with a new deck from my ginormous collection for you to enjoy and for us to get a lovely little message from. And today, we're pulling again from the top shelf, and this is the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck by Taylor Eaton. I love Taylor Eaton. She is one of my faves when it comes to internet psychics, people on YouTube. I love her YouTube channel. But she is all about basically fixing money wounds, not fixing money wounds, but basically looking at your money wounds and trying to find places where you may feel like maybe you don't deserve to have a lot of money. She's all about developing career and finance, and that's where a lot of her psychic gifts lie. And so this deck is dedicated not to like money, like in this very sort of capitalist sense, but the idea of wealth and having, meaning that you're in overflow of like wisdom, trust, faith, belief, confidence, and that these are things that naturally magnetize you towards your purpose. And when you're living your purpose, you're naturally resourced, right? So this is something I've really been trying to change my mind about, because I have so many like weird, I've been super poor. Like I've had some big poverty trauma, and that's the back of the deck. And I came to find that that was really limiting for me. And her channel has been really great in helping me to try and break out of that. So some really beautiful digital artwork. I love it. It's sort of like monochromatic in this very dreamy way. So like, while it's sort of beigey, it's not boring. It's more like ethereal, like angelic, celestial dreamscape. Another one of those magical realist decks where we're imagining this more perfect version of Earth. And we have a lot of like Greek and Egyptian iconography in here. We have a lot of really beautiful floral imagery, big cats, Gothic architecture, really, really gorgeous stuff. A lot of like hazy, like really appropriate, like what's in this sort of state of really, really good relief, like what's really, really coming out to us and what's sort of left back in the haze, right? Something that Alhazen called the errors of sight. So absolutely beautiful, gorgeous waterfalls. So there's a lot of rich imagery to look at as you're interpreting the cards. She has this organized into two different suits, and there's 22 cards in each suit. One of them is archetypes. So like images, like archetypes for you to embody, like someone to be like, yes, I can embody the aspects of this particular person. And then there's the awareness suit, and that's like things for you to have in your awareness, to be thinking about, to be journaling about, to be, maybe going into meditation with some mantras on. So it's all about developing a vision of yourself, and holding that vision is what we're really going for. Because a lot of times, so for instance, this card is the Alchemist, and that's an embodiment card. What does the Alchemist do? So you look in her book, what does the Alchemist do? What is that like? And then you say, how can I bring that into my life today? How can I act as if I'm already there, right? And that's something that can help to bring you into a place of abundance. Or you might get one of these awareness cards, like this one is the Abundant Assembly. This is like, people coming together, right? So you could be like, this is something for me to think about. This is something for me to journal on. This is something for me to maybe practice, right? And so it's a really, really good deck. I like to use it in spell work. I like to use it as altar cards. I like to use it, especially if I have a querent who's coming to me with like a business or a career question. I like to break this card out when I have questions about, should I take this program? Is offering ABC for my highest good? is pursuing XYZ for my highest good. Those kinds of things that help me to either heal or develop my ideas around wealth, abundance, capacity, right? Trusting the seasons of money flowing in and out of my life, trusting the seasons of clients running in and out of my life, right? That's when I reach for this deck. When I have questions, or I have a Aquarian who has questions around that. That's not my favorite. This is the title card, the Wealthy Woman. And my sister has this deck too, and she goes, oh my God, I think that looks like you. And I'm like, all right, I'll take that. So let's go ahead and give her a little shuffle-roo and see what message we have coming through for the collective today. It's this one, the Stargazer. So this is one of the archetype cards. So let's find out who the Stargazer is and what kind of message she's trying to give us today. So is there something about the Stargazer that we're being called to embody? The Stargazer, connect the dots, look for the pattern, divine guidance. The skies hold so many mysteries for the Stargazer, but in those mysteries, she often finds answers to problems she didn't know she was trying to solve. She is adept at finding order in the chaos of the infinite universe. Her eyes are trained to look for patterns, making it easy for her to spot constellations amidst the smattering of stars overhead. And while she knows there are a multitude of directions she could look in, and incomprehensible number of celestial bodies in the sky, she trusts that wherever she looks, she'll find the patterns that she's looking for. The Stargazer is a reminder that the universe is filled with infinite abundance. Oh my God. And instead of feeling lost in this life, it's important to look for the patterns and clues that are pointing you in the right direction. Look for patterns in your day. The universe is always nudging you toward the abundance you're looking for. Once you connect the dots of those little synchronicities and those big coincidences in your life, the map through the chaos will emerge to lead you into infinite wealth. This is a great message about direction. This is like, I'm thinking of like, you know, the Stargazers were our navigators, right? When we're, you know, you're thinking about like people who are sailing on ships, or you're thinking about like, you know, our oldest existing oral tradition of astronomical practice is the Aboriginal people of Australia and New Zealand. And these are the oldest traditions that we have of stargazing. And it's a way to find your way. It's a way to navigate life. And so we perhaps live in a world where we've been disconnected from that, right? And what it could mean for us, both physically and metaphorically, right? This idea that the answers are already there, right? That if you are looking and you're searching and you're like, you know, so I don't know how this is going to apply to you because it's a general reading, but if you're looking and you're searching and you feel like you're not seeing a lot, we were talking a lot about darkness last week. You look up to the stars and you can find your way, right? But that takes study, it takes practice. It takes, you know, we don't just come out of the womb knowing, you know, which way is north, right? We don't exactly know how to navigate these celestial maps. We don't come out like that. But if you are to look around at your life and, you know, begin to put those dots together, so embody that person who knows how to do that. Train yourself to be the person who can look at all of the patterns and loops and cycles happening in your life and be like, what are these guiding me toward? Right? It would be so easy if we had this really explicit map. This is your purpose. This is where you're supposed to be heading. This is what you're supposed to do for your job. This is who you're going to marry, and this is when you're going to meet them, and this is how many, this is what you're going to go to college for, and this is where you're supposed to travel, and this is where your impact is going to be, right? Instead, we get these little breadcrumbs, right? In our embodied life, we get these little breadcrumbs. Start looking at the breadcrumbs. Start looking at, like, overall, where have they been leading me? What direction am I being pushed toward? What is my soul trying to tell me? Because your soul has that map. Your soul has that explicit knowledge. It's learning how to embody the stargazer so that you can see the blueprint, you can see the pattern that you've left yourself, right? In a manner of speaking, right? And trying to see, what is it I'm supposed to be following? Where is my highest potential? Where is my next highest expression? Where is it? And you can do that by looking at the patterns. If you have a cycle of abandonment, if you have a cycle of jobs that don't work out for you, if you have a cycle of, stress eating, right? Whatever your cycles and patterns are, or if you happen to be in a specific place and every time you go to that place you feel a certain way, or you see the same, red bird, or all kinds of synchronicities and coincidences, they link up in the most amazing way, the way that constellations do, right? They link up in this incredible way. And if you can learn to see them, follow them, understand how to interpret them, you can navigate the difficulties, you can navigate the darkness. It becomes easy because you've learned how to embody the stargazer, to take joy in it, to find excitement in it, to find adventure in it, right? It's not easy to shift your perspective in this way. It's really not. But the star in tarot is hope, it's direction, it's guidance, right? And so being the stargazer is somebody who is following that hope, understanding the patterns that hope is leaving in order to guide you divinely toward that highest purpose, highest impact that you're here to make. Everybody's here to make, right? So I think I'm feeling pretty complete. That's our message for today. I'm giving you all so much love. You are so great. Thank you if you stayed to the end. Thank you. For this and more messages, follow me at Lydian Lantern on Instagram. If you have any questions, any corners you would like polished off, book me. If you want to see my services, I have a list of services on Instagram. DM me. Thank you. All of my best and greatest love. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Mwah.